Well, I have two young children, and so right now at this stage in my life, most of my time is occupied with them when I'm not at work. But I certainly do have hobbies that I have enjoyed doing and very rarely get to these days. I like to bake cakes. I like to play the piano and the guitar and the cello. I love to sing. I like to do karaoke with friends. I like to have game nights with my family and friends, and a variety of other things. Okay. Hi, my name is Louise Ryder. I'm a senior attorney with the Spiggle Law Firm. To be honest, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do when I graduated college, but I knew that I loved to read, I loved to write, and I loved to research. And I had explored a variety of different careers, and being a lawyer seemed to make sense because I loved doing all of those things. So I started college in California where I grew up and came to DC for law school. After law school, I began working for a very small boutique employment law firm that really did a mix of private and public sector employment law, and I feel like I got great experience there because it was just the owner and me for a long time. And I was able to get involved at every stage of litigation and all sorts of different cases, and I really enjoyed the variety. But because it was such a small firm, I did at some point decide I wanted to move on so I would have more independence and take more cases to court. So I then went to a firm that specialized in federal sector work. And that was where I really got my chops in FedSec, where that was all I did day after day, and began to specialize in it. I did, however, miss being in court and doing private sector work as well. And so I decided to come back to the Spiggle Law Firm and have always enjoyed really the work that we do. Employment law, representing clients, whether private or public sector, who've been discriminated against, retaliated against for reporting discrimination, for being a whistleblower. I've enjoyed the wide variety of different issues that can arise, and how there's always a new issue that comes up almost every day where you're trying to explore creative solutions to do the absolute best you can to get your client the best outcome for them and to help them move forward. So I've really loved the work that we do. I've loved employment law, and that's all I've ever really practiced since law school. It is funny that I never thought of employment law specifically or intended to pursue it in law school. I took a class in ERISA, which is this very complicated scheme about employee benefits, and I've always been passionate about matters of labor law and employee benefits and really protecting employees, but I really hadn't had the opportunity to explore employment law as a field. So initially, when I enjoyed that ERISA work I did, I started looking for roles that practiced ERISA, and I ended up falling into employment law and ERISA, but I'm shocked that it had never occurred to me earlier to go into employment law, because it's always been something I've been passionate about it in my spare time. It's something I would read about. Discrimination, retaliation, those things are very near and dear to my heart because I am so passionate that we should all live in an environment, and especially a work environment, free of discrimination, harassment, sexual harassment. And I do love helping employees. We spend so much time at work. It is such an integral part of our lives. And I think it's easy to forget how important someone's work environment is in their life when we practice there every day. And an issue at work can have effects throughout. So I've really, even though it wasn't my initial plan to go into employment law, it ended up being the perfect field for me. When I met everyone at Spiggle Law Firm, I was just shocked at what a pleasant environment it was. Everyone I have worked with has been phenomenally kind, helpful, and collaborative, and that's really the working environment I want. Considering how much time we spend at work, it's so important to work with good people who you trust and believe in. I do love how client-centric Spiggle Law Firm is, how we're always doing everything we can to really try to offer something outside the box. While obviously our first priority is advocating the best we can on behalf of our client to protect their legal rights, I love how Spiggle Law Firm focuses on exploring alternate ways we can try to help people. Everyone I work with is always thinking about our clients, really day in, day out, and how we can help them not just pursue their claims, but also help put them in a better situation to move forward. Because a lot of times an employment discrimination issue can be crippling to someone and really stifle their potential. And I love that everyone at this firm agrees that what we want to do is see if we can try to help our clients get past a difficult situation in their life, not just litigate and get a settlement, although of course that's absolutely a part of what we do, but try to get them a clean record and enable them to progress in their field in a way where a difficult situation doesn't impact their career for the rest of their lives. I think my coworkers would describe me as positive and creative, in that one of my favorite parts of my job is finding creative solutions to issues, finding creative options to bridge the gap in a settlement discussion or to really help my clients advance in the litigation arena and out. I think that my clients would consider me to be positive and a bit of a perfectionist, but frankly, I think that's a good thing in this field. So I do find that I'm demanding of myself, and perhaps that comes across to my coworkers as well.